Of course, Darwin, I went to Calcutta. I saw a museum, Darwin's museum. I came out and cried. I cried literally. Not very many years back, very recently. I cried because after seeing the museum, you get a feeling my ancestors are monkeys and chimpanzees. That is the feeling I got. That Darwin theory, struggle for existence and survival of the fittest and the evolution, he became a demigod for the Western world, for that matter, for the entire world of intellectuals. That was the time Swami Vivekananda, he said, no, evolution is always followed by the involution. And then struggle for existence and survival of the fittest is not the right thing. The one life that passes in protoplasm, as well as the great human like Buddha or the Christ, exactly the same principle is following. It doesn't apply. The Darwin theory may apply for the animal level, but not to the human level. That's what Swamiji has said. It is a great, great revolution. But most surprising, astonishing thing for you, I tell you, my dear friends. Next slide, please. The Darwin theory has been contested, saying that the neo-Darwinism, current evolutionary Darwinism, and so many changes, madam, it changes the colors of Darwin theory. But the Darwin theory is not fitting at all. And the great Goodwin Darwin, one more Darwin, he is again a Nobel laureate. He has conclusively said, yes, the Darwin's theory cannot apply because Darwin himself, he accepted if we can come across even a single intellectual, intelligent creature which has not evolved, I will bow down saying that my theory is wrong. If Darwin would have alive today, my dear friends, I'll tell he would have committed suicide. For the sense of what he said, because the Darwin's theory, it applies half, it doesn't apply for the entire universe of life. Yes, this has been conclusively done. Now I come to the latest 2010. There was one Nick Lane and William Matinot. They published one article in Nature. The surprising, astonishing thing for me is that Swami Vivekananda used the words, it is the cooperation and symbiosis that is behind the universe of life, of evolution. Cooperativeness and symbiosis. This Nick Lane and William Matinat, they say, it seems two cells were there. One cell went inside the other cell. If Darwin theory you apply, both these they will fight together and the fittest will survive one cell. But it didn't happen. The cell that went inside, it started shrinking its requirements and started giving its energy to the outer cell. And slowly in the process, mitochondria has formed. And mitochondria is the thing which is the basis for the entire life, whether it is animal kingdom or whether it is the creatures or whether it is the plant kingdom or whether it is the human kingdom. The mitochondria has come out of cooperation and symbiosis. These are the words used by Nick Lane and William Matinat 120 years back. 1895, Swamiji uses these words. And 2010, the Nobel laureate, would-be Nobel laureate, he uses the words exactly the same thing. My dear friends, you tell me, would you like to argue? Would you like to say, yes, Swamiji, he has said something? I don't think so. Then I'll come to the next one. You see, this is how they explain exactly the mitochondria formation, how the inside cell has shrunk, and then the final mitochondria has formed, the outer cell and all. Next one, please. You see the first sentence, again, my predecessor, out of one element, the whole other elements have come. That's what he said. This is what Swamiji has said. Is it true? Is it true? Yes, there were lot of dialogue. And finally, the thing is that there was one Nobel laureate, Astin, in 1925. He developed that mass spectroscopy. Although, what is that? I will tell you the word exactly. He got a Nobel Prize. That very precisely can determine the atomic weight of the molecule, these fundamental units of that one. Now this fellow hydrogen is very unique, having one electron negative and one proton positive inside. It is the first in the periodic table, and it is the first fellow which has evolved out of the Big Bang theory. It is 90% of the material of the entire cosmos. And out of this hydrogen has come the first thing, the helium, and from helium has followed the heavier metals one after the other. So if you see one after all these things, the hydrogen is the one which is the fundamental. It has been proved undisputedly. And in this one again, there were 3 Nobel laureates who had come to this conclusion, and the Swamiji of what he has said, yes, it has become a reality. It has become a reality. Now, next one, please. You see the great beauty of the thing. All these things he has said either in the Parliament of Religions or at some platforms or some other thing. Now, one day he was sitting at Almora under a peepal tree. It was 1890. And he comes out and he says, what beautiful thing that what he says. Now I see the whole cosmos, the microcosm and macrocosm, one lying inside the other thing. You call it as imagination, you call it as hallucination, you call it as something else. I don't know. Those who are calling them, what to call them. I don't want to use that word on this public platform. Swamiji was able to see very crystal clear, this macrocosm, microcosm are governed by the same principles. And he could see the macrocosm in the microcosm very distinctly, very distinctly. I can tell you a very layman example, the banyan tree, the seed of that one. Out of that seed comes a banyan tree. Can you see a banyan tree in a seed of the banyan tree seed? How small it is? And then you take any of your atomic energy, you split your one single atom, you produce so much of energy that can devastate the whole humanity. Now the entire cosmos, the entire energy is existing in that micro thing or not. Yes, this is one of the wonderful examples that I came across through the Swamiji's own words. I just came out of the thing. I see very crystal clear. This is what is nothing but the intuitive mind. This is what the great sages, they have seen intuitively. The whole cosmos, what are the governing principles and all the other things. What a beautiful thing. I don't think there can be a science if I don't know who has to work for how many years and how many Nobel laureates have to come to show that microcosm, macrocosm is in the microcosm. I don't know. I can just only imagine. Who come in front of my mind? I can see only the friends like you. Who can work on such things? Who can work on such things? Now with this thing, now we have said whether Swamiji has got the requisite things or not. After saying that yes, he got the requisite things of science, we have seen in physics, biology, and chemistry what intuitively he pronounced as the postulations. They have become the theories and they have become the realities.